Hi everybody, Paul Long. Hope you've been having a really good day. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which Facebook objectives you should be using as an estate agent or letting agent. And it's one of the questions I get asked a lot by estate agents when they go into Facebook Ads Manager for the first time. So when you go into Ads Manager and you hit that green create button for the very first time, Facebook's going to ask you which Facebook objective you want to use. And this can be really confusing if you're there for the very first time. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly the ones we're using, the ones you should be using for your adverts that you're generating on a daily basis for your property business. And we'll give you some great tips to take away so you're very clear on deciding which objective to use going forward. So let's head into Ads Manager and let's have a look at the different objectives available. Okay, so we're in Ads Manager now, the back part of Facebook, Facebook's advertising platform. And we've hit that green create button, and then we get the question from Facebook asking, choose a campaign objective. But how do we choose an objective, and which one should we be using for our property business? Well, simply the best way to choose your objective is first of all to think of what your end goal is, because this is Facebook pretty much asking you, what do you want to achieve? What's the end goal? And that's going to really help you choose the correct Facebook objective going forward. And from that information that you give Facebook, Facebook's then going to look for people in your audience who are most likely to take that action or take that end goal, or get to that end goal that you're trying to achieve. So let's show you a few things here. Now, first of all, we've got awareness, consideration, and conversion. And underneath each of these, we've got different objectives. Now, under consideration, let's run through some of these. Traffic is pretty much how it sounds, taking traffic from Facebook and pushing it to somewhere else. Normally it's a landing page, so normally your own website, or if it's a landing page, it could be a blog or an online valuation tool. That is where we're trying to push traffic from Facebook and push it somewhere else. Often agents say, are you allowed to do that? Well, if you're spending money with Facebook, Facebook's quite happy. It will allow you to do that. If you're using an organic post and you're just putting a post on your page, then yes, Facebook might be a little bit funny about that. But if you're spending money, Facebook's quite happy for you to use a button or a link in your advert and drive people to your website or landing page. And Facebook knows the people in that audience are most likely to do that, and it's going to try and find those people first of all. Now, the next one underneath, which we often see agents using, is engagement. And engagement is where you're putting your content in front of people who are most likely to comment, like, and share. And if you're hitting that boost button at the moment, that is pretty much most of the time who your content is getting in front of. Now, if you're wondering, where would I use that? Well, it's pretty much any time you don't mind people staying in Facebook, seeing your content, and just hitting that like button or commenting or sharing your post. That's normally the action they will take if you use the engagement objective. And Facebook's going to try and find people who are most likely to take that action. So I'll give you some examples of when you might use this for your property business. Perhaps someone in your office has won an award and you just want people to see that and you want them to comment, like, and share. Maybe someone's birthday in the office and you want people to see that. Or maybe you just want to promote a competition or something similar and you want to get some social proof on that, people liking, sharing, and commenting. Often known as a support campaign, where it's supporting by putting social proof on any posts that you have. So think of engagement in that way. Don't normally get involved with app installs in our property business. Video views, pretty simple, this one. If you want to get people to watch your video, as many people as possible, Facebook will find those people. It knows people on Facebook who are most likely to watch your video, good chunks of video as well. And Facebook will try and find people who are going to watch your actual video. So if you've got a video and that is all you want them to do, then use video views. It's a great way to build audiences, engage data. People watching your videos, if they were watching a certain percentage, they're invested, they're interested in you, and they could be potential sellers, landlords, or buyers, depending on your content. Lead generation, this is a really powerful one, which most agents don't use, but they should be using. So with lead generation, we can create an advert where there's a form attached to that advert. So if you've ever been scrolling through Facebook and you see an advert and you click on the button and a form pops up within Facebook, that is a lead advert. It's a really powerful way to obtain people's details within Facebook. It removes the need for a landing page. So often you can get an advert up and running and start gathering people's details very quickly. It's very high converting as well, because Facebook will pre-populate the data into that form as well. So things like email addresses, phone numbers, and names will actually appear straight away. And if someone's on a mobile phone, that can be very handy. And Facebook knows the people who are most likely to hand over their details. So it will go and find people in your audience who are most likely to do that. And if you've got guides, or perhaps you want people to book appointments, this is a really powerful advert that you should be using in your property business. So lead generation, if you want to form, if you want to obviously obtain people's contact details in exchange for something or to book something, definitely one that you should be using. And it's probably one of the most powerful ones and most used in the property and real estate industry in the world. Messages, if you want to drive people into Messenger, then Messages is going to be the one for you. Again, Facebook will find people who are most likely to chat in Messenger. Also, it gives you the ability to automate certain replies, so you can set up automation with replies as well. So Messages is another one which a lot of real estate agents use. My preference is to use the lead generation actual objective, because I like the lead form, but some agents will drive people into Messenger to answer certain questions as well. And then over to the right here, we've got conversion. And conversion for estate agents and letting agents, the only time you'll probably use the conversion objective is if you're using an online valuation tool. So with your online valuation tool, there's a few different objectives you can use, but one of the most powerful ones you can use is the conversion objective. And this is really tapping into the Facebook algorithm. This is where machine learning is going to try and find people who are most likely to do your online valuation, most likely put their details in and get to the thank you page where they see the results. Now, it takes a little bit more of setting up. There's a few things you have to do to make sure that that works. We first of all have to tell Facebook what the conversion event is, and that means telling Facebook what the important event is. And there's a little bit of coding that's often needed with that as well in some cases. But when it is set up, Facebook knows exactly what's important for you, and it will go after and try and find similar people in that audience who are most likely to take that event. So let's give you an example. Online valuation tool, as we mentioned, an event would be perhaps a lead event or a complete registration. And this is when people get to the last page. When they get the result, we can tell Facebook that that's a lead or complete registration. And then Facebook will take note every time that happens and go and try and find similar people who are most likely to do that in your town or audience. So you can see how it can become very powerful very quickly. And Facebook is learning all the time. Every time someone takes that action, it's learning. So conversions often used for online valuation tools. You can use it for other landing pages as well. So you might have a guide, such as a lettings guide or a landlord's guide. And that's where sometimes we also use it in the property industry. Now, the other things, catalog sales, store traffic, very rarely would you use that as an agent. Moving over to the left here, brand awareness and reach. A couple of things here to note on those. Brand awareness and reach. This side, Facebook is really just looking to put you in front of as many people as possible. In fact, what it's going to do is, with the audience you give Facebook, it's going to try and show your advert to as many people in that audience. It's pretty much like a billboard, just trying to show it to everyone as quick as possible. It's very low cost as well, but it's not trying to find people who are most likely to take a specific action. So if you're just happy looking for as much exposure as possible, much brand awareness, putting content out on Facebook and spending money, that's fine. Use reach or brand awareness. If you're looking to get people to take action, then you most likely want to use something under consideration or conversion. So I hope you found that training video helpful, and you now know which Facebook objectives to use for your property adverts. Don't forget to download our Facebook ads template. That's going to help you create adverts and posts for your property business that help to attract sellers, landlords, and buyers every time. And if you have got any questions from this training video, don't forget to put them in the comments. I do reply to every comment, and we'll make sure that you're kept up to date with Facebook advertising. As always, thank you very much for taking time to watch this video, and we'll speak very soon. Thanks then.